What's up? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Grab your vices, chill out, and let's get straight to it. This is episode 51 of Straightforward with Ms.B. And as always, how y'all doing? I've been doing fine. I hope everybody has had a productive week. So far, we had kind of a week off as far as like the podcast. Um, and now we're back with episode 51. I hope everybody has enjoyed the previous 50 episodes. I was so glad to kind of meet that milestone on this journey. I appreciate everyone who has ever tuned in, that continues to tune into the podcast, no matter what streaming platform you're listening to it on, or even YouTube. I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, just for the support. There's thousands and thousands of podcasts out there. I'm just here. Like I said, I this podcast is a hobby. It's not a full-time gig. So I'm sure that some supporters who may feel as though, well, dang, why don't she have a visual version of it yet? Or, when is she's gonna maybe start bringing on maybe celebrity guests for interviews and things of that nature. Maybe eventually down the line I will. I'm just not in a big rush to do that. One reason is that um the office space that I have, I do want to change it around. I am doing some renovations on my property, and so this office space is definitely something that's in the works, in the plans. And I already have, like I said, some equipment. There is other equipment that I need to get in order to, just have a full blown studio kind of setup going on in this office. So just bear with me. It will come. Like I said, I don't know when. I'm not gonna tell y'all when. It's just gonna happen. Okay. And so if you support me, hey, you gotta have patience. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate those with a little bit of patience. So today, to get right into it, hey, today we're gonna be talking about beef. A whole lot of beef going on. And specifically with the R&B girls. Yes, we are talking about SWV and the group Xscape. For those of you who may not be familiar with those groups, they came out back in the late 90s, early 2000s. They were extremely huge as far as both groups go. They both, have multiple platinum, gold records under their belt. They have, done sold out shows throughout the years. Both groups have also dibbled and dabbed, I would say, into the reality TV realm. At one point, SWV had their own show. I don't know what happened. I guess, after a while, it just probably lost a little bit of momentum. And then, you have Kandi, who's a member, one of the original cast to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and also Miss Tamika Tiny Harris, who also have had her own show, the Family Hustle, and I believe at one point she did a show with what's her name, Shakana. So, all of these ladies have already bit the reality TV show bug, and they're back doing their thing. They have a show on Bravo, which seems to, I haven't really looked at the Nielsen numbers to see how many viewers, each episode so far has gotten. However, if you look at, the black culture side of things or side of social media, you will see that they are pretty relevant. The show is doing pretty good. If you, like I said, keep up with the gossip and everything that's going on surrounding the show and the members of the show, it seems to be doing fairly decent. So hopefully it is working out for these girls on Bravo. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the same woman, Mona Scott Young, who was behind the success of Love and Hip Hop, that franchise. She's also helping to produce this SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B show on Bravo as well. So shout out not only to, the women doing their things, but shout out to, black women doing their things out here and bossing up and doing what they got to do. But however, with all things fancy and entertainment, there most definitely has to come some drama behind that. So I wanted to kind of touch base on that today. It's been a minute since we've been a little bit of messy and gossipy on this podcast. But I just want to showcase my diversity when it comes to things and topics that I can talk about, whether it's politics, whether it's gossip, tea, whether it's financials, which I haven't really got into the financial part yet. But yeah, hey, this girl over here can pretty much yap about anything. Or at least know to bring in the right people to talk about those subjects as well. But today we are going to be messy, okay? All right, so as I stated, it's the R&B girls that are fighting, not quite literally fighting, but hey, who knows? Things can always easily turn left at any given moment. And in this case, hey, Xscape and SWV seems to be having a debate going on social media on who should be headlining the concert. So, from my understanding, and truth be told, and I'm gonna keep it 1,000, I have not watched a single episode of the show. However, I do keep my ears to the streets. I see clips on social media, on Facebook, Instagram. You know how they show like the little 1 minute, 2 minute clips of an episode. I've seen all of those. So hey, I'm smart enough to kind of wrap all that small bit of information together and come up with my own synopsis of what's going on. So apparently, like I said, they have been fighting or debating on who should headline. From my understanding, it's supposed to be a dual headline show. So usually when groups do a dual headline show, I think initially during the concert, both groups will come out and maybe perform some covers together, and then at one point one group would then perform their hits or whatever, and may while the other group exits the stage, and then vice versa, the other group would then take the stage and go through their performance routine as well. I think that is fair. Now, as far as like the payment, who getting paid more, I can kind of understand that. Hey, because I think Xscape may be getting paid more than SWV as far as when they go on tour. However, if that is the case, and whoever the promoter is, if they are paying one group more money than the other, because like I said, they both kind of on evil playing grounds when it comes to accolades that they've achieved, and songs they recorded and how many songs they've sold. They're kind of like on even playing grounds in my eyes. However, you may have others out there who think differently, but in this case, if there is one group who's making more money, and I can see how Xscape could possibly be making more money when it comes to touring, it's because of the level of, I believe, relevancy. And SWV, although they are very popular, they have not been quote unquote relevant in the scene for quite some years. Yes, they may be household names to some of us. However, but they haven't had any, I guess, real relevancy as of recent. I'll say within the last maybe 3 to 5 years. Like you don't normally hear their Coco, Lee. You don't normally hear their names in the news a lot, or you don't normally see them participating on, say like a number one syndicated type of show or whatever the case may be. You don't really see that when it comes to them. However, Kandi and Tiny, as far as the group Xscape goes, both of them have been able to maintain a certain level of relevancy with the housewives, with Family Hustle, and every other business venture that they tend to do. They have been able to maintain that higher level of relevancy. And when that happens, when you are the more popular celebrity, then in turn, from a monetization standpoint, of course, you are able to capitalize more on that relevancy. And Escapes, Tiny and Kandi, I'm sure, are making what they're making more money, but I'm sure they are able to help their group Escape as a collective unit earn more money when it comes to touring. Okay, do y'all understand me? So I believe that it has been the debate on the show. And I'm one of those people who have kind of worked in the entertainment industry behind the scenes as far as media goes in the past. And I know that a lot of times this shit just be for clicks, giggles, laughs. It be kind of, it be staged a little bit. I would not be surprised that this whole conflict that they have going on between the two groups is something that's not, it could be just a storyline for the show. If it is a storyline for the show, hey, it is what it is. That's good. At least we know that there is no real beef between the two groups and these women. However, if it is a real thing, hopefully it doesn't escalate to something even more outside of the show. And hey, we could just see how things play out on the show. And hey, that's what a reality show is about. The reality shows, in order to engage the audience and bring in the viewers, there has to be a certain level of drama. And I think that the females are doing a great job at keeping this show alive. Yeah, I think they're doing a good job at doing it. But I wonder what you guys think. Who you think should be the sole headliner, or should the girls definitely just stick to the kind of dual headlining thing? But to me, in a way, the dual headliner situation or setup still don't really make any sense, because I'm sure either way, at some point within the show itself, the concert, each group they're going to take the stage on their own at some point. You know what I'm saying? And so having to fight about who goes on first or who goes on last, it's like it's absolutely crazy. And I think we actually heard about this type of situation that happened before. Isn't it the same type of shit that happened with DL? I think it was DL Hughley. Was it DL Hughley and Monique that was beefing about headlining a comedy show before a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken? So it's the same type of thing. But hey, all of these people, celebrities, end up being divas. Sometimes they think they are more than what they really are. But hey, I guess if you work hard to be in that spot, to be called a celebrity, and you have relevancy, then, hey, you got to be a little bit arrogant and cocky to a certain degree. With this type of situation, I believe, though, in my heart of hearts, that because of the level of relevancy of Kandi and Tiny, They are basically holding it down for the group Xscape, and in turn, tour tour managers and promoters who are setting up these tours and concerts do kind of owe a little bit more coins, and I guess I don't want to say seniority, if that's the right word, but they do owe a little bit more to Xscape. And hey, that's my final answer on that. And hey, that's that on fucking that. All right. Now, moving on. Sorry, I'm very stuffed up today, so excuse my voice. I know it's already deep, but when I'm stuffed up, on top of having a deep voice, I sound extra crazy. But hey, it is what it is. All right, so also on the SWV and Xscape show, there has been a feud between the Scott sisters, child. Mm-mm-mm. Tamika Scott basically accused her sister of allegedly stealing 300, I mean not 300, $30,000. Excuse me, $30,000 from her. Now that's a damn shame when you can't even trust your own family, right? But anyway, on an episode, basically Tamika Scott, ooh shit, my nose. Tamika Scott, she unpacked an explosive fight with her sister and Xscape bandmate LaTocha Scott Bivens. And mind you, as I always do, I credit my sources, and this is from page 6, and the writer was Evan Real. Basically, this was told to a page 6. Page 6, I guess this particular writer was an exclusive. Tamika Scott, basically, who's 47 years old, she sat down to discuss the matter with her mother, Gloria, who she feels has shown favoritism to LaTocha. Her sister is 49. Over the years in the episode, basically, she says Tasha, her mother says Tasha is crushed at you. I guess the mother was trying to intervene because, hey, at the end of the day, these are sisters. They do have to kind of live in the presence of each other for the rest of their lives. They was brought up in this world together as well, and they also are participants in the same girl singing group. So yeah, I can see why the mom kind of having to be a mediator in this situation. Her mom basically was trying to condemn Tamika for talking about her sister husband, who is a talent manager. His name is Rocky Bivens, and they believe that he is the person that's behind, the alleged stolen money. All right, it's always these folks' husbands that be dipping and dabbing in places they don't need to be dipping and dabbing to, basically. So during a heated exchange on the show's premiere episode, Tamika alleged that LaTocha and her husband conspired to cash checks of hers. The checks were worth tens of thousands of dollars, $30,000 to be exact, and cashed it and deposited into his own bank account. This is the husband's bank account. However, the couple has continued to deny the claim. Okay. The mom basically implied that Tamika basically has brought up a false narrative about her sister and she can't sleep at night. Child, I guess, child. But it is, the group Xscape and Kandi and Tamika and the two Tamikas and LaTocha. The group was founded in 1991. They did break up initially in 1998. However, they are known for their smash hits, Just Kicking It and Who Can I Run To. The group briefly reunited in 2001, but again, they pressed pause on that reunion 5 years later. Okay, so that's part of what's been happening. Excuse me. Part of what's been going on between the two sisters on the show. How do y'all feel about that? I don't have any siblings. However, if I did and I found out, because anybody that knows me, I don't play about my money. I don't give a crap if you owe me. I mean, I don't give a crap if it's $5, $10, $20. I would check somebody off my coins. Now, just imagine it in this is a platinum selling group. So some of y'all may think, hey, it's just $30,000. Hey, what's $30,000? I mean, Tamika could make that back within one or two shows or whatever. Maybe one show they can easily make that money back by touring. But hey, money is money, man. People need to stop counting people's pockets. Okay? That's what y'all need to do. Stop counting people's pockets. Tamika has kids. I'm sure that $30,000 could have easily been, you know, spent on something for her kids. It's like you never know what somebody. Hey, she might want to buy a couple of wigs, couple of new outfits. You never know. You never know what somebody want to do with their money. You know what I mean? And it's not up to you to make that decision for them. So y'all stop counting people's pockets. That's a bad trait to have. I know some people that do that. It's like, child, just because you see me sitting in front of Lambo on Instagram don't mean you could come ask me for $50,000. That don't mean that. You know what I'm saying? That shit aggravates me. But anyway, moving on from that. Although this other person that we're going to talk about is not part of these two groups, she is indeed an R&B singer. Now, Tamar Braxton basically done started up some shit as she always do. Now, mind you, Tamar, for me, I don't know Tamar. I don't know all of these people. I have met Kandi several times. I've interviewed her several times. I have met Tiny. I've never interviewed Tiny though, but I've met her before. But deep down into their personal life, I have no idea, or to really understand what type of people that they are, I have no idea. But Tamar Braxton, I don't know her either. However, it always seems as though she is in the middle of some mess. Tamar, I don't know her to hate her, you know what I mean, or dislike her in any way. However, I do feel as though Tamar Braxton is extremely problematic. Now, she may have very good reasons to be problematic, but nonetheless, she comes off as a very problematic person. And yeah, she kind of likes the mess. And I mean, hey, I get it. In her line of work, she sings. However, she has been, I believe, on The Real. I believe that was the show she was on until she was, I believe, asked to depart from that show. And she's been on many other different things. I believe now she's a part of a show with Nivea and Evelyn Lozada called The Queen's Court. I believe they they have these relationships that seem to prosper on the show, as far as their love life goes. And hey, Tamar is getting back in her groove of things. I believe she has been on Big Brother. She actually won, I believe, Big Brother as well. So yeah, she tends to step out and do her thing, and congratulations to Tamar. However, this situation she has going on with Kandi is like, okay, both of y'all know each other number, y'all can easily call each other. Why bring it to the internet? Some shit just don't need to be brought to the internet at all. And it's crazy. But hey, we're here to soak it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people who likes to be in a whole bunch of gossip as far as like knowing, keeping my ear to the street and figure out what's going on here with who or who with what celebrity. I could care the fuck less. But for the sake of the podcast, some shit I'll just talk about, okay? But anyway, according to E Online, E-News online. Hey, things are not so peachy between Kandi Burruss and Tamar Braxton. It says Braxton confirmed rumors of a months-long feud between her and the Real Housewives of Atlanta star during a March 19th appearance on Watch What Happens Live. And that's the show with Andy Cohen. The All the Way Home singer subtly confirmed that she was referring to Burruss and her husband Todd Tucker in the December 2022 Instagram post, alleging that a Real House of Atlanta star had quote unquote threatened her while answering a fan question. It really did happen. I'm not lying, Braxton explained. Like, I'm not looking for attention or drama or anything like that. Insert side eye. But that shit really happened. It was not cute. Host Andy Cohen incorrectly guessed he thought it was Eva Marcel and Drew Sidora before adding, "It's not Kandi." And you know the crazy little faces Andy be making, y'all. Prompting Braxton to smile at the camera and take a sip of her drink. While she didn't elaborate, she promised Cohen, quote unquote, "I'll tell you the story later." However, the following day, Braxton called out Burruss and Tucker on social media. And you know what? I got that audio for you guys. Give me 1 second.
To go to my dancer's dressing room to bring them their new clothes, and I see Kandi in the hallway, and I'm like, "Hey boo," and I give her a hug, you know, whatever, and she just look at me and she's like, "I ain't fucking with you." And I'm like, what I'm thinking she's kidding. Like, I'm for real thinking she's kidding. And she's like, "I ain't fucking with you." I'm like, what happened? She like, "Oh well, you said that shit you said about Carlos King was foul." And I'm like, oh shit, and I honestly truly forgot about it, right? And I'm like, "Listen, I didn't mean no harm, you know, I wasn't trying to, you know, go against you or nothing like that. It's, you know, just what I just explained to y'all. Like, I just feel like my responsibility is a little bit different. I ain't trying to call nobody publicly a liar when I don't know the whole story. I'm not comfortable with it." And she was like, nah, you said, and I'm like, "Sis, I'm leaving my dressing room to go to." If I offended you, I am so sorry. Like, you know, like I wasn't coming from that. I thought, man, you made up at Big Brother. You know, I wasn't coming for you. It's nothing like that. I really, truly, humbly apologize. And plus, I sent her a DM, and I said, I sent you a DM when, you know, when your fans was coming to my page. This was a while ago, and I was just trying to let you know that, you know, I wasn't trying to be, you know, malicious or nothing like that. Nah, but you said, and you did, and then you doubled down and put it in your story. I said, "Listen, Kandi, I'm not trying to go there with you. You know, we in the middle of this hallway, and now by this time, people swarming around. You know what I'm saying?" I'm like, we ladies, we shouldn't be doing this. We can go in my dressing room. Yeah, before I take it to the next level. Now, everybody know, I ain't really here for that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool and I'm safe. Listen, if I offended you, but I do know how to whip ass. And I don't do that because I don't condone violence at all, right? And I'm like, well, what's the name of the level you want to take it to? Like, what, you want to fight? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. You said he did steal from us. Right? And I'm like, she is really serious right now. I'm like, all right, like, don't do that. First of all, I'm from Baltimore. We're not going to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm telling her again, it's my 4th time apologizing. I am so sorry if this offended you, right? I wasn't trying to be malicious towards you. Now I'm saying this again. This is in the hallway. I'm saying this again. Nah. I mean, Buck King. And I'm like, and I get to the point where I'm like, look, dog, this is not Atlanta Housewives. I'm not getting paid. But I do know how to whip ass. And I'm here to argue with you like this. I'm about to go sing everybody on this bill under the table. I can't argue with you right now. Like, I finna do all that. And then trying to completely de-escalate the situation. It's giving bobs and cackling and cacklings. And like, then Tadina comes up and like, he comes and get her and he says something to her and then he looks at me in my face. Y'all can believe this shit or not. Nigga look at me in my face and go, you know what it is. Oh. What? Now this is a dude. I don't care. Listen, y'all don't see me grow up on the Braxtons. Y'all don't see.
Oh my God, child. That shit took me out. And when she called Tardina, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes Tamar be funny in her little reads or whatever that shit. Oh my God, that was fucking hilarious. The Tardina took me the fuck out, yo. I swear to God, it took me out. All right, but anyway, what y'all think? What y'all think? Tamar is so fucking extra. She is so extra. She is so extra. Okay, so as far as y'all, for the people who don't really know like the backstory of all of this, okay, so the drama between Kandi Todd and Tamar, it kind of goes back to October 2022, when Kandi came out and stated that stated on a podcast, it looks like House of Aaron podcast interview, that Real Housewives of Atlanta, the former producer for the show, Carlos King, tried to make a biopic about the group Xscape behind her back and without the group's permission. Carlos King has since directly responded to her claims. I don't know what he said about it. I don't have that information in front of me. So, hey, I can't bring it up. But anyway, Braxton, who had previously toured with Burruss and Xscape in the past, later defended Carlos King on Dish Nation. She said on Dish Nation, quote unquote, I don't agree with her calling him a thief. You know what I mean? I think that's a little like off the deep end. And then 2 months later, Braxton posted on social media in December to allege a confrontation had happened, of course, as we just heard, between her and the mystery couple that we now know as Kandi and Todd. And so we heard the audio of Tamar traveling somewhere, but she did kind of give a full explanation on what happened during that altercation between them. You know, what I think is that I believe, do I believe Kandi stepped to Tamar? Yes, I do. Kandi have stepped to Nene. Kandi don't really care about stepping to people. So yes, I believe she stepped to her. However, do I think Todd was being like malicious and trying to attack Tamar when he, came up to her and said, you know what it is? No, I don't think Todd understands. Todd is cognizant of who these people are. You know what I'm saying? These are quote unquote celebrities. These are people with names. You know what I mean? These are people with history in the entertainment business. He knows if anything was to pop off that was crazy, of course it will be all on social media. He will look bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's looking bad kind of anyway because Tamar done kind of blew it all out of proportion and to make it seem like she was just in such a vulnerable state and afraid of Todd, which I don't think. Okay, if a dude come up to me and say it is what it is, I mean, of course, it could be subjective depending on who you are. You could receive people's words differently. Like the way that you receive someone coming up to you saying, you know what it is, versus the way that I may receive someone coming up to me stating the same thing, you know what it is. We would receive it two different ways. But like I said, I think Tamar being the person that she is, I think she added the little extra sauce on top of it. And I don't really think that Todd was going to do anything seriously to her. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would have put his hands on her and all that. And so they have been kind of not going back and forth. Tiny ain't really said a whole lot. Tiny did post a meme to our social media, basically of the Addams Family Wednesday. In that particular Netflix special, you'll see it was a scene where they was her and the other little girls was kind of walking on this little dock, and one of the girls, basically was acting as the victim, and basically she was supposed to be representative of Tamar, who many people have said that Tamar always seemed to basically, hide her hands in situations and always play the victim. So that was kind of funny when when Kandi posted that shit. But I think that a lot of people, I think when it just comes to public opinion, I think it's kind of split. It's kind of split between how Tamar feels and versus how Kandi and Todd feel about the situation. I'm sure at some point Kandi is going to maybe fully talk about the situation, explain what happened from her and Todd's viewpoint. Kandi is quick to bring legal attorneys and shit like that into the picture. She may end up, she may end up filing some type of defamation suit against Tamar because Kandi does not want that reputation of her to be out there in the public, as her being, I guess, a bully or, going around threatening people. Kandi takes she take pretty goddamn good care of her reputation. So Tamar, hey, you may see a little lawsuit or something coming your way soon, honey. But I'm curious to know how you guys feel about that situation. To wrap it all up, I think that all of these women who are in their 40s, some may be in their 50s. I think sometimes when people be like, dang, these hoes too old to be acting like this, honestly, sometimes people will push you the wrong way and kind of take you to that point where, hey, you don't have no choice but to kind of react on them. Whether or not the way that you react is appropriate, hey, it is what it is, and that's subjective to each his own. I do feel as though with age comes wisdom, and I believe that all of these women in these situations that they're in now, these little petty feuds that they have, I believe that they can, reach some type of alignment, can boost up their communication and talk this thing through. At the end of the day, because shit don't be that serious, and life is too short. Life is too short. You just have to know how to deal with people as they are. If it is somebody that, hey, you don't necessarily like, you don't like how they handle things or conduct themselves, you don't have to be around them. You don't have to hang out with them. But the strange thing is, most times with these R&B girls of this age and caliber, a lot of y'all normally get billed on the same ticket. You have these legends tours that happens, and you may see Xscape, you may see SWV, you may see Total, you may see Monica, you may see Fantasia, you may see Tamar, and a lot of times these people are booked on the same concert. So it's like, come on, guys. At some point, these legend and legacy tours, you guys you gonna run into each other again at some point. What y'all gonna do? Lay hands on each other? No, y'all too grown for that. So Get it together, ladies. That's all I got to say. And hey, this was it for this episode of Straightforward with Ms.B. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, hey, follow us, subscribe to us on all podcast streaming platforms. Check us out on YouTube as well. Again, that's STR, the number 8 FWD with Ms.B. And until next time, peace out.